Let's go to another rock star in the Senate, John Barrasso. He's the Senate GOP conference chair. He'd know a thing or two about whether anything could get done on infrastructure. What do you think, Senator?
Well, first, Neil, on behalf of all your fans in Wyoming, we are delighted to have you back on the air, so welcome back. In terms of infrastructure, it's no surprise we are very far apart. We were actually close when we left the White House meeting with President Biden. Since then, either President Biden has changed his mind or Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer have overridden him because of the demands by the liberal left for, think of this, $7.1 trillion, lots of it in social spending and the largest tax increases in a generation. Republicans are going to come back with an offer that's going to focus on things that the American people think of as traditional infrastructure, physical infrastructure, roads, bridges, ports, airports, waterways, broadband, the things that make a difference in people's lives and will help get this economy moving forward.
You know, Senator, it could be just me. I don't see this happening. I know, you guys have come up to close to $1 trillion. At least that's one plan they're kicking around. But again, the administration's at 1.7, 1.8. Bottom line, it doesn't appear likely. And I say that even without any Republican support, relying on Democratic support, because that doesn't seem to be united. So this seems to be fizzling. What, am I right?
Well, you are right. And we look at the fact that we're dealing with impressive inflation. Inflation is roaring back. And even Larry Summers today, who worked as Treasury Secretary for President Clinton, worked for President Obama as an economic advisor, said, look, if you're going to do this, don't pour more money onto what is the flame of inflation. Do this with money that has been approved but not yet spent. There's $700 billion in this last COVID so-called relief package, which had very little to do with coronavirus. $700 billion that's not even supposed to get sent out until 2022 and beyond. That's the place we ought to be looking to take that money for investing in the sort of core infrastructure that the American people need.
All right. Now, you're open, obviously, to a little bit more spending, but you're not open to, tinkering with the tax code to get it. I know you are relying largely on user fees, tolls, that sort of thing. But is there any wiggle room on that side?
We are not going to touch the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017, which has done such a tremendous job of actually rebuilding the economy, bringing our economy roaring back before coronavirus hit. We know what works. The other thing that we're dealing with the Democrats is they don't want any of the regulatory relief that we think is necessary from the standpoint of being able to build things better and faster and cheaper and smarter. They have more regulations, more demands, more mandates, which just add to the cost of getting the job done, so you get less bang for the buck. So we're going to come back with a proposal that's focused on core infrastructure, things that the American people think of as infrastructure. And we're leaving out this social spending, the tax credits for electric vehicles, over $100 billion there, so-called climate justice. We're leaving those things behind to focus on the things that we think will help the economy the most.
Senator, this comes at a time when a lot of people are looking at who speaks for the Republican Party. I know you work very closely with Mitch McConnell. Assuming that the tide in the Senate and the House changes favoring Republicans, would you still favor Mitch McConnell being your leader in the Senate?
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind or in the minds of the 50 Republican senators, we're going to focus very hard on taking back the majority of the Senate. Mitch has been a tremendous leader for our party and for our country. We work closely together and focus on jobs, on the economy, on national security, energy security, and we know what kind of a battle that we're in against this administration, which is for massive taxes, massive amounts of spending at a time of roaring back inflation. I think we're in capable hands with Mitch McConnell as our leader.
The president, that is the former one, Donald Trump, does not agree. Does that change your view, or are you still of that view?
No, I think if we voted today, Mitch McConnell would be overwhelmingly, if not unanimously, reelected as leader of our caucus. And he was reelected as our leader of our caucus in November.
True enough. All right. Senator Barrasso, very good having you on, and thank you for the kind words from your residents of the beautiful state of Wyoming. I always appreciate that. Senator John Barrasso on all of that.